Evan,
Boone, it's been a
you
while.
look like you're in a better environment than me and a mental headspace than I am right now. Where you at, brother?
Yeah, I think we had completely different mornings based off what you just told me. I am down in beautiful Amelia Island, Florida, on my parents' newly finished pool. So I got up early. I went for a run this morning. I will say the Florida humidity, really, someone's got to do something about that. Like,
I think if I went for a run this morning, my whole body would just explode.
Yeah, no, I came in here with some allergies and they just got cleared up. They got cleared up on the run. It was much needed.
Oh, dude.
But
Florida
tell me about where you're coming from right now.
I'm at home in Charlotte. The Pacers lost. I will say I realized last night I've never been less comfortable with my team leading than watching the Pacers. Pacers with a lead going into the fourth, I'm not confident in. Pacers down 10 going into the fourth, I'm hitting the live money line. I've never rooted for a team that when they have the lead, it makes me more nervous than when they don't. So I drowned my sorrows a little bit, and I'm pretty not great. Mentally, emotionally.
I'm sure the girlfriend not being in town may have also added to that a little bit.
Yeah, it did and it didn't. No, it did. What am I kidding? Yeah, I came back here and had another drink, and then I just drowned my sorrows. I am such a Twitter whore and a self-harmer, but not actually, that I went into the Twitter replies to my own team's devastating loss when they could have taken a really commanding lead. Listen, this is loser talk. It is what it is. That game was so important for the Pacers to have won, to have a shot. Now we've given home court back. We've got to win at least another one in OKC, and it just doesn't look good. I don't know. They hit the Scott Foster button, which is bullshit. Yeah,
I think what happened in that game, not just the win, you could almost feel like the series was slipping through their fingers as the lead was slipping through their fingers. It kind of felt like you were watching that in live time.
Yeah. And it was at home. Yeah. That's the hardest part. It was at home.
And this may be a hot take. That was kind of the best they played, in my opinion, until towards the end of the game. Defensive wise, I thought they were unbelievable in that game.
I jumped in before you said. I jumped in before you said till the end of the game. That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, the last 6-7 minutes, they were unbelievable. Like every time. And however, I will say this: it looked like, they'd get that 7, 6, 7, 8, 9 point lead, and then just blow it. I think it happened 4 or 5 times. It would just disintegrate. But they kept coming back. But at some point, you're like, there's no way they can keep giving up this lead and it not bite them in the ass.
Yeah, and obviously I'm very emotionally invested in it. But when the fourth quarter started and they had the lead, the Thunder were kind of chipping away. But to your point, the Pacers were coming back and getting their lead back. And I swear I looked down and looked back up. The Thunder were only down 1, and it was 3 minutes left. It went from 10 minutes to 3 minutes so quickly, in my head at least. This is not – I'm not blaming the ultimate loss on this guy at all. Benedict Mathurin can't miss 3 of 4 free throws. We're down 6, but if he hits those free throws, it's a one-possession game. Now, obviously, a lot of shit had to go wrong. I'm not blaming it on him, but those are big free throws you got to have.
No, I absolutely agree. And I think just the way the playoffs have gone for the Pacers, anything could have happened if you hit those free throws. They literally made the one play where to get, let's say he hits the 2, then he hits that 1, it's back into a game. It's a completely different game down 3 versus down the 6 or whatever it ended up being at the end there.
Tell me if this is crazy or if it's me being just a dumb fan. Thunder win game 5 at home. Pacers win game 6. If it goes to a game 7, I like the Pacers' chances in a game 7 in OKC better than any of the other games. And here's my reasoning. The Pacers, 1 through 10, truly believe that they all should be first team All-NBA. Obviously we're wrong, but they all truly believe that, and there's no pressure on them versus OKC, one of the best ever statistical seasons from a net rating perspective. At home, game 7, the Pacers are the 3rd longest odds to win a championship, per the FanDuel or whatever, in the fucking history of the sports, I guess. I don't know that. But the Thunder have all the pressure. We've already seen them get flustered, and the Pacers just truly think that they're the best team. Does that make sense? Like, I think in a game 7, we'll just play and they'll collapse.
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting take. I do think game 5 and game 6 are I guess what you're kind of saying is if we get to a game 7, you like your chances of winning a lot more than actually getting to the game 7. So if you can somehow find a way to get there,
Yes.
which I agree with, because I really don't see it getting to a game 7 now. Just like I said, you saw that lead slip through. It felt like the series.
Yeah.
But I would actually agree with your statement. I think because to get it to a game 7, you're going to take the momentum back at some point.
Right.
To get one of those wins, like all the momentum's on the Thunder's side now, in my opinion. All of it.
But
going
so
back
is
home.
the pressure. So is the pressure.
Correct. But like you win game 5, you go back in game 6. I almost feel like if you win game 5,
yeah,
you go back, there's less pressure to win game 6, in my opinion, than there is to win game 5. I know that's a crazy
Thunder,
take.
Yeah, for the Thunder, for sure.
Sure. So like you win game 5, you can kind of relax a little bit. Then all the pressure goes off to the Pacers, which is why game 5 is crucial. Like you guys have to play a good game, top to bottom. I almost think game 5's more of the must win than game 6 is, like in that sense. It's like just like if I was you, I'd almost rather win game 5 than game 6.
I mean, if I'm honest and I can have what I want, I would have rather just not fucked up game 4.
Yeah.
But I guess I'll boil down that take to this. I am more confident in the Pacers winning a game 7 on the road than a game 6 at home facing elimination. And the reason is because, like you said, the Thunder, the pressure's off them. Now the pressure's on the Pacers, and it's at home. Like, so there's just more drama there, obviously. The Thunder kind of playing with house money versus in a game 7, the Pacers are now playing with house money because they never should have been there. I mean, we talked about it a couple weeks ago. The Pacers have already doubled the Eastern Conference's wins against the Thunder in 4 games. Thunder were 29-1 against the Eastern Conference, and they're 2-2 against Pacers right now. Like, this is a really fucking good team. Both teams are really good. Honestly,
and I'll be honest, the Pacers have really impressed me this series. I think there's still flashes of, man, if OKC plays their best basketball, they are definitely a step ahead of the Pacers for sure.
I'll tell you what it is. The Thunder have a superstar. The Pacers have a star. And, I mean, that's the difference, I think.
Yeah. And, I mean, I don't know where, we definitely have game 5 coming up here on Monday, game 5 on Monday. And then, I mean, that's a big you kind of get the weekend rest, weekend to travel. So I think that benefits a little bit, but
all I know is OKC first quarter spread is probably the freest money. I won't take it, obviously, because I'm invested, but that feels like just free money. They have to come out with the momentum super strong at home. Again, though, I hope they have a lead because I feel better with the Pacers coming from behind.
Playing with their backs up against the wall, not having to, actually having to do what they got to do.
Here's the thing. If both teams play their best basketball, and that includes like shooting, their like best shooting performance, the Pacers, I think, have a higher ceiling because they have better shooters. But if you're talking about like 98 percentile to like 10 percentile, the Thunder are a better team. But if both teams play like 99th to their perfect game, I think the Pacers have a higher ceiling because they have more shooting. But you can't rely on the perfect game, obviously.
Yeah, I would agree with that, but it's like, how often do you ever see a perfect game shooting wise from your whole team, especially when you're playing a team like OKC who has such good defenders. However, I will say this: I saw a crazy statistic. Shea has not played good defense statistically this series at all, and you kind of see at some points last night. Halliburton was making some moves right by him to the hoop last night.
Dude, I agree. But to be fair to Shea, him and Halliburton have been turnstiles this whole series. Nembhard and Neesmith have been playing unbelievable defense. Caruso's obviously a fucking grinder. I love Caruso, just not right now because God, that guy is fucking annoying. And then Lou Dort obviously is just like big booty monster. He gets away with so many fouls though. It's unbelievable. I'll stop because I'm obviously biased and I'm just bitching, but it's crazy.
Well, did you see a statistic going into last night's game? Shea had a 70% blow-by rate.
Really?
Luka, for comparison purposes, had a 67% last year in the playoffs.
Yeah, but Luka's fat. Come on, everyone knows.
Well, I know that's my point, though.
Yeah,
if Shea's at 70, that's better than Luka. Like, exactly. And they're calling Luka fat. It's like, well, I mean, either way, not good stat, but
On that point, though, kind of like slightly off topic, I think the best 3 players in the NBA are not, and none of them are American for like maybe the first time ever. I was thinking about it the other day, and I think the top 3 best players in the NBA right now, like currently, and then going into just next season, I don't think any of them are American, and that's got to be like the first time ever, right? I mean, LeBron's been around for so long that obviously skews it, and then Michael before him.
who do you have your top 3 right now?
In order: Jokic, Giannis, Shea.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I mean, I can agree with that.
And if I'm taking full health though, so not right now and for next season, the Tatum Shea is very close at 3. So that would be the only skew.
Yeah. And then, I mean, Giannis, I'm always just kind of getting worried with the way he plays. Injuries are always kind of becoming a concern with me for him.
I hear you, but he's got like the Derrick Henry. He's got the Derrick Henry vibe. Like he's too big to get injured. Like he's just he's a whole ball of muscle.
Yeah. Like I think he's a lot stronger than people give him credit for.
Dude, I wouldn't love to do this, but I would just be curious to be boxed out by like him or Jokic to see how actually just strong and crazy that is to try to get around them on a rebound. Like Giannis is so strong, Jokic is just a fucking wall. Like that's got to be brutal to get boxed out by them.
Oh yeah, or like even imagine back in the day getting boxed out by Shaq. Well, you just end up on your ass, but like,
dude, Shaq just fucking rocks. And that I just went back in my head to that fucking idiot trying to fight me over Shaq versus Jokic. Like Shaq exists. What are we talking about? So I've been cooking up a take. This is a complete tangent. I've been cooking up a take that I feel like people haven't said at least or thought of. Maybe I'm just dumb. The Jets and the Browns have been pretty much the same franchise our whole lives. Like dumb decision-making, bad drafting, ton of quarterbacks. It just doesn't work, right? But the Browns acknowledge how bad they've been and never really have full hope. And the Jets just think every single year it's their year. They're the same team, but one fan base is just so dumbly optimistic, and the other fan base is just like, yeah, no, we're the Browns. That makes sense? Like the Jets are just so optimistic for no reason.
I agree, and I have to throw another team into this group who's almost a level above the Jets in the fact they actually do win sometimes, and they'll make a playoff berth here and there, and they really just rely on one Super Bowl win back in the 80s. It's the Bears. The Bears are always irrationally high as well. This is going to change our franchise, yada, yada, yada. And don't get me wrong, they're an average team is what I'd kind of call the Bears, but they're almost the worst, even worse to be a fan base of because they'll give you hope. Like they'll win enough games. We're going to make the playoffs. And then you just collapse. At least the Jets, by week 5, you're not our year again. Like at least immediately. The Bears will drag you on to week 17, 18, sometimes even a playoff berth.
The Bears are the NFL equivalent of the New York Knicks. Obviously, I still have a ton of hate for them, but famous team, famous brand, historically been terrible, won one championship before our parents were paying attention. And they just continue 85 Bears. Oh, the 70 whatever Knicks. Like they historically are shitty franchises from a win perspective, and people just think that they're good because they're name brand. And their fans think that they're like the best franchises, like God's gift to their sport, all off one championship. It's crazy.
I will say this though, a few podcasts that I listen to have 2 Bears fans kind of leading them, separate podcasts. But I think some of those guys are starting to rationalize a little bit, at least in the offseason. Like, oh no, they're going to do it to me every year. They at least acknowledge it's happening now, where it's like, oh, they're just going to screw me over again. But I'm still going to have you hopeful. Come week 1, I'm like, oh, Super Bowl time.
Yeah, but to be fair to all of them, like if you're not a little hopeful, then what's the point? I know football's so long from now, but I've been cooking up takes, and I got to talk little pigskin.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think we've had a good amount of football news, just so everyone, I want to catch everyone up here. It's a Saturday morning, usually record on Tuesdays. Both have very busy travel schedules. We'll be back next Tuesday. And I know we didn't dive too much into the NHL playoffs and NBA, but I think our plan is to kind of recap all those once Boone has a full mind on his shoulders. But we're going to dive into pigskin and just kind of talk some shit here for a minute.
Yeah, listen, man, our travel schedules are obviously tough. if we could have recorded when we were supposed to on Thursday, trust me, I would have, because the Pacers won. I'm feeling like dog shit, and my team blew a lead. Like I gave you everything I could. I'm sorry. I've got a couple predictions, takes on the football season. The first one you're gonna hate. Just next season, I think the Jets are gonna finish second in the division after all that shit talk. I buy in on Aaron Glenn. I buy in on Fields. I still think the Patriots have a higher like future trajectory, I guess. But I think the Jets this year are going to finish second in that division, and I think they might make a playoff berth. That's my first take. My second take, the Jacksonville Jaguars offense is going to be one of the highest scoring offenses this coming year, in my opinion. BTJ coming back, new offensive coordinator. I think their defense is still going to stink, but I think that did I say the Jets? I meant to say the Jaguars. The Jaguars are going to have one of the highest scoring offenses. My second take. My third and final take, Aaron Rodgers in Pittsburgh, him and DK are going to get off to a hot start, something like 6-2 through week 8. Firm control of the division and just completely capitulate and either get 7th or 8th in the AFC. And it's going to be catastrophic for Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Those are my takes. I'm going to put money on all of them. I just can't fucking wait for football, dude. I need it. I need it back now.
So Jets, I don't know. I could see that, actually. I'm going to have to wait to the preseason. I love everything I'm hearing coming out of the Patriots camp this offseason. It really sounds like Vrabel kind of righted the ship. Yeah. Granted, it was so far in the stink hole at this point. What does that actually mean? And, I feel like I hear that every offseason.
But you got a football guy controlling the locker room, and you got a diva wide receiver. That's all you need.
Yeah, and causing off-field issues. I kind of like that a little bit. Kind of get the head right.
Bitches using 2C.
And here's the thing. Last year, the Patriots weren't good, but I didn't hate our defense last year. I really didn't. They were just put in a lot of really, really bad positions for the most part. They have some talent there, especially with the Vrabel coach. Vrabel coaching. I'm excited about the defense. Maybe not excited. I'm optimistic. Offense-wise, one more year for Drake May to develop. A lot more weapons this year. I think Travion Henderson's going to be one of the most underrated rookies this year. I don't think his numbers are going to be anything super crazy, but I think the impact he's going to have on the Patriots team is going to go far beyond what a lot of people anticipate.
Couldn't agree more. And it goes back to dumb decision-making. The Browns could have taken him and took Junkins instead.
Mm-hmm. But with that being said, I think, for example, the Patriots have a lot higher ceiling, but the Patriots could also be a team that ends up 9-8 and just, kind of misses out in the playoffs, has a very average year. But I could also see them just being surprisingly good and getting to a playoff berth. What I see from the Jets is kind of more so like an 11-6 team with not much, not a higher ceiling. I think the Patriots' ceiling is higher for this year than the Jets is, but I think most likely if you play this season 100 times, I could see the Jets finishing above the Patriots. I don't hate the take.
I disagree with that last part more. I feel like for the next 2 years, I think the Patriots' ceiling is higher, but for this coming year, I think the Jets' ceiling is far higher. I think if you go position by position, the Patriots have a better starter at 2 positions than the Jets, in my opinion. I think Drake May is probably still better than Justin Fields, at least what we've seen. And Christian Gonzalez is a top 3 corner in the league. But other than that, I think the Jets have man for man a better team. Personally.
That's fair. I mean, hey, listen, I'm also an optimistic fan too, diving into, I heard every offseason. I just think for some reason things might click this year. It's going to be a completely different team on the field. That's just me.
Yeah, no, I think y'all are going to be much better, but I think y'all are 2 years from being back in the playoff mix.
Realistically, I think you're probably right.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I could see just a bunch of players having huge breakthrough years this year.
Is Barmore back? Is he going to be able to play?
He is back. So Barmore's back. But the reason I didn't debate you on that is what's he going to come back as? He's been off of football for a year. What kind of player is he going to be?
I hope I'm happy that he's able to come back. I hope that it's because he's good to go. Because that there's some injuries.
He's been all medically cleared.
Yeah, I just hope that it's football's not that
back.
Yeah. But on my Jets take, I'm gonna sprinkle maybe a 15 piece on Justin Fields comeback player of the year.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
All right.
because I was going through it last night, kind of like thinking, who else? Like the person perfectly positioned for it, if he didn't now have a shoulder injury, would be Anthony Richardson. But now he's got this weird shoulder thing, and but like if you think about it, who else is in that kind of spot already?
Nobody
Like
really kind of really sticks out to you.
like thinking about injuries, like JJ McCarthy got injured, but he's not played. So what is he coming back
Yeah,
from?
I
You
don't
know
think
what
he
I
can
mean?
win comeback player of the
Yeah.
year in that situation. Oh, yeah.
Maybe like
Also, question. Will this qualify as JJ Rookie's rookie year because he was out all year before?
no, like he can't win like rookie of the year if that's what you're asking.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
NBA
Okay.
does that, NFL does not.
Okay. Interesting. Well, let me dive into your Jaguars take here. I do have one question on it. I think the biggest thing on that is I do think they are a very explosive team, especially if they can stay healthy. Big question mark is, can they stay healthy? It's also the Jaguars, so like they're going to get the opportunities. I don't think the defense is good at all. So
No,
I could see them putting up a lot of points or having to put up a lot of points to be in games. So I think that definitely plays into your thought. What's your thought on Travis Hunter? How's he going to do this year?
dude, I'm not
Both
gonna lie.
offensively, defensively.
I'm not gonna lie. Obviously, the Jaguars are gonna put out like good tape, but I am getting a little nervous. I mean, he looks good. The thing that I'm holding out hope for is like, okay, I see you doing like mini camp drills on offense and defense and being a baller there, but can you handle NFL like exhaustion on both sides of the ball? Because to me, he scares me more as a both sides of the ball all the time guy. But like if you eliminate him, I guess here's my point. They should put him on offense because he's not going to make a difference on defense, even though he's great or good. I won't say great yet. That defense isn't going to be very good, but him off of BTJ is a scary offensive combination that I'm not excited about. That said, we've made a ton of investment in our secondary, which thank fucking God, finally. So we're finally in a position where we can go up against these like BTJs, Nico. Like we can finally like actually not be embarrassed. They might still beat us, but like not embarrassed. So we'll see. I don't know. I think they're going to be like a very similar to the Bengals, the Jags. Both not going to have good defenses, but I think the Bengals will be a little more explosive. But I think they'll kind of have that same mold.
Yeah. So I like that too. I think the BTJ Travis Hunter could be scary. Some of the route combinations you could do that, lining up off each other. They're both so quick and fast. I do agree. The tape I saw, I'm a very much Travis Hunter is going to be a good player in the NFL. He is not going to be the superhero everyone thinks he's going to be. I will say the tape looks. He literally was laying out for the ball like a superhero in some of those clips.
We saw this in the
yeah. So
it wasn't cool to see.
A little concerning on my take, but I'm going to stick to it. I think he's going to be a good player in the NFL. I just don't think. Maybe I'm wrong. I think it'd be really cool if I was wrong, a player that is able to do both those things all game. That'd be crazy. But I do agree with you. I think
he's not in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
If he was just a cornerback, where would you put his like draft pick? Or where do you think he would have been picked if he was just a cornerback in this year's draft? Like knowing where players went.
25 to 40.
Oh, I was gonna say like 10 to 15, but regardless, it just as a receiver, where would you have him?
20, 15 to 20.
Yeah, that's like either right before or right after Matthew Golden in my head. Even though I think he's a little bit better than Matthew Golden. But regardless, my point is he got drafted that high because of this like two sides of the ball. I just think it's a lot in the NFL, and you're investing a lot of capital in a guy that you probably wouldn't take that high if he just played one of those sides of the ball.
Well, especially considering, what the Jaguars gave up to get him, so
yeah,
they're truly gonna play him both ways. Whether that's the intention this year, maybe you give him 1 year where you kind of do back and forth, just depending on what you need on a game by game situation basis. But I think I'd probably expect this year out of Jacksonville. They're stupid, but definitely next year. Like, I mean, year 2, hey, you basically draft him. You give up the pick next year, so you better be doing it next year, is my thought on it.
So if they play him at corner though this year, because he's a beast, but he's very small. Like, are they only going to be able to play him like nickel? Because he's got to put on like some mass if he's going to be going with these big ass receivers we have now.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. Like to your point earlier, I kind of meant to say is I don't know how good of a tackler he's going to be at this level of the NFL right now. Like
Yeah.
he was actually a really good tackler
He
for his
wasn't
size in
very
college.
fundamental, very fundamental.
Always surprised me how good he was
Yeah.
at tackling. He didn't miss a lot of tackles. I think part of that just like how good of positioning he has and how good footwork he has. But again, to your point, it's a whole new level. He's got to put on, I'd say, at least 10 to 15 pounds
Yeah.
to be a true solid tackler in the NFL. But we'll see. Yeah, I don't know. I'm interested to see. I think that's one of the kind of the most exciting stories that's going to come out this year early. Just how does that translate to the NFL? I'm just really excited to watch it.
I had a who was it? I had an offensive rookie of the year thought last night. It was somebody that you wouldn't expect. God damn it, who was it? This is really good podcasting. I'll think of it maybe in a second. I have one more prediction, and this is a preseason prediction. Unfortunately, somebody's quarterback or second string quarterback will get hurt during the offseason, and that team, whoever they are, is going to make a Dylan Gabriel trade offer to the Browns. And the Browns are somehow going to get a worse pick than they used on him before he's even played a game. But Dylan Gabriel will not be wearing a Browns jersey in September. That's my prediction.
I agree with that too, just because I think Shador is going to be better than Dylan Gabriel. That's just my thought process.
Yeah.
And also, everyone's like, oh, they're going to end up cutting one of those guys before the season's like, are you fucking stupid? Both those quarterbacks are going to be on the Browns roster in some way if they're not traded. They're going to be on an NFL roster somewhere. I don't know where it's going to be, but they're not getting cut. It's not going to happen.
Because somebody's going to get hurt. That's just what happens.
Yeah, exactly.
And you'd be stupid. Because I keep seeing people floating around the Kenny Pickett trade idea. And if I'm another team, why would I want a guy who's small hand, short, and I know is bad versus the guy who's small hand, short, but could be a little bit okay with Dylan Gabriel? Exactly. Why wouldn't you just take the upside?
So, hey, one thing I want to touch on in the offseason is the Shamar Stewart situation in Cincinnati.
How weird.
I mean, I get where he's coming from, but what the hell are the fucking Bengals doing?
Dude, like apparently
especially with Trey Hendrickson up in the air. Sign the goddamn guy, dude.
Yeah, and like I just don't know what their thought process is. However, my dream scenario is for it not to work out and he holds out all year and then goes back into the draft next year. So apparently that's what would happen.
Yeah, so I didn't know that was a thing.
Me neither.
Crazy. And I looked it up. I don't think it's ever happened.
No.
So, I mean, you hear about the holdouts, like I believe it was Elway did it way back when. He's like, hey, I'm not playing for you. Like all that stuff. But
fuck that guy.
That is crazy.
He was drafted by the Colts and said he wouldn't play for the Colts.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was Baltimore, not my Colts.
But like, dude, just sign the guy. Like, this isn't the year to mess around with that when you clearly need the player.
Yeah, and like the whole reason you probably drafted him was to have leverage for the Hendrickson negotiations. And now you have two guys. You look like a dipshit, and like you have no leverage on either. Like their defense is already going to be taking a hit because they lost a couple key pieces. Sam Hubbard retired. Lou Anarumo, their D coordinator, came to the Colts, which granted their D wasn't very good last year, but since he's been there, they have been pretty solid. So whole new defensive scheme, lost a ton of players, don't really have that much money, obviously, because their offense is like 70% of their cap space, I think. This is the year you have. This is the year you have to get the good defensive player because you don't have the cap space to go out and get anybody else. And like what is even the rookie max? Like it can't be.
He was like pick 17, I want to say. So it's not crazy. The cap hit's nothing insane. Well, you know why he's holding out, right?
Yeah.
Because they put some like that odd clause in the contract.
Which I didn't know you could even do that, but apparently it's
you can put whatever you want in a contract, technically.
I just guess I didn't
think someone would be stupid enough to do it.
He can only make 18.9. Like that's not crazy money. But yeah, I've never heard of putting a clause in the contract that waives the entire contract. Like 1 year, okay, like maybe like an injury, like 1 year maybe, but it's the whole contract. Who would sign that? What the like? hey,
It
if
makes
you get
no
hurt
sense.
playing this violent game, we're actually not going to pay you.
Yeah. Well, I don't think it's injury based. I could be wrong on that, but it's like if you get suspended, I could be
Anything that
wrong.
takes him out, apparently.
Oh, really? Okay, I didn't know that. I thought it was just like suspension or like off field game. Yeah, who the fuck signing that? That's an awful.
Yeah. To be fair, I heard one person say that injury was included. And I did no other fact checking, so
Okay.
I could be wrong. But
I don't know. I just heard
regardless.
suspension. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
Hey, do you want to play this super violent game where you run full speed into other giant men? Oh, by the way, if you get hurt, we're not paying you. Like what? What does that even, makes no sense.
Bengals, I don't know what's going on behind the scenes there. I thought they, the T. Higgins, Jamar Chase thing, I thought was kind of cool, but like at the same time, I knew it put them in a pickle, in a bind, and now they just seem to be, making that pickle even shorter. So I don't know what they're doing there.
It did put him in a pickle technically, but like T. Higgins signed a very reasonable, if not underpaid deal. It's like what, $20 million a year or something like that?
Yeah,
like,
no, it's not bad.
Yeah, when he could have definitely gone and been a one somewhere else and gotten way more money.
For sure. Speaking of receivers, money and all that thing, Antonio Brown. Warrant issued for his attempted murder charge.
Yeah.
So
I heard about this
wow.
last night, like at halftime of the Pacers game. I'm not defending what he did because obviously that's horrible, and I'm not defending anything he's done because he's a nutcase. But there is a very clear point where either he lost his mind or he decided to get on the internet. But from the time Vontaze Burfict like blew his brains out, he started going crazy. Like,
oh, for sure.
I'm not like, you can't say Vontaze Burfict like did anything, and it was intentional, but he didn't know he's gonna break his brain, and not, it's football. But like, I think that he actually just like mashed his screws completely loose. Like I don't think Antonio Brown knows where he is.
No, there's issues going on. Like it needs to be something needs to be done. Like he's not right in the head anymore. That's clear. And then also, I mean, I haven't seen the video. I don't know what a lot to happen, so I'm not going to dive too far into it.
Yeah.
Legal matters, not my expertise. But apparently it was sort of in self-defense. How realistic that is, I don't know. Luckily, no one was killed at the very least. But, you just kind of hate to see that. I mean, at one point in his career, there was talks of Antonio Brown being put up there with some of the greatest receivers of all time. And he had the numbers to back it up if he had been able to, continue down that path.
Dude, he had one of the like most ridiculous, I want to say 4 to 5 year runs. Like he was legitimately going number 1 overall in like fantasy drafts. Like he was an absolute monster. And then Vontaze Burfict scrambled his eggs and just
one of the dirtiest players of all time.
Oh yeah. I had one more football prediction hot take that I wanted to.
All right, I throw it back in.
Russell Wilson will not be starting for the Giants after the end of September. I don't know if it's going to be Jameis or if it's going to be Jackson Dart, but Russell Wilson will not still be the starter in New York by the time the calendar hits October.
I would kind of be surprised if it didn't go to Dart. Like I think it'd be interesting to see if Winston got. I'd be very interested to see what was going on if that was to happen.
The only reason
that would really make sense to me if that happened.
I agree. The only reason like it could happen is either Dart's not ready or like what I think Mayo should have still done last year with the Patriots. If the line just is Halliburton, Luka, and Shea up there, like maybe protect your young quarterback until you can get some safety for him, if you know what I mean. Like if the line is just so bad, like you don't want to put your guy out there and the season's already kind of shot.
Yeah, I get that.
But I actually think the Giants are going to be like flirting around like the 10 spot in the NFC. Not in the playoffs, but like in the mix up until the last couple weeks.
I see them as more of like a little bit below that, like a 500 team is kind of my prediction for them.
But a 500 team is probably like in that 8 to 11 range. Do you think?
Yeah,
I mean, there's a lot of teams.
I would say kind of maybe more like 11, 12 would be my guess. Maybe you're right. I don't know.
I mean, if they're
depends on the year.
If they're 8 and 9, 9 and 8, they'll probably be in like in the hunt. Versus if they're 7 and 10 or whatever, then they're probably like just on the cusp.
They might get their name on the graphic. Their name on the graphic.
In the mix.
I did want to circle back here to Aaron Rodgers. A couple things on that. I think that's absolutely going to happen. I think your take's spot on. They're going to start off good for like 2 games. and then some type of issue is going to happen. Either the locker room, it's going to be Aaron Rodgers related. Is it going to be his fault? I don't know. Also crazy, he got married in secret. That's a little bit questionable. That needs to be commented on.
It's one of those like least surprising things though. When
of course, okay,
you know what I mean? Yeah,
okay. And I think it gives us a nice, good transition a little bit to a topic we've been wanting to discuss: brothers who just never kind of panned out and are always in their brother's shadow.
And
Jordan Rodgers,
not even just like didn't pan out, like would have been a solid player, college or pro, but their brother was just better.
Well, I mean, Jordan Rodgers, I mean, he ended up having a nice career on The Bachelor. Good for him.
Are you talking about Jordan Palmer?
No, Jordan Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers' brother.
Jesse Palmer. Sorry, Jesse Palmer's my head. But Taylor Griffin, Blake Griffin's brother, who had like really good numbers at Oklahoma, just wasn't Blake Griffin. Obviously, we talked about Seth and Steph.
Yeah,
which that one's tough because they named them basically the same name too. Like that's tough.
Also, Seth Curry kind of got the Steph Curry spring because after everything happened with Seth definitely got a lot more publicity too.
He transferred to Duke too.
Yeah, absolutely. Where was he at? Was he at like Liberty or something before that? I want to say maybe.
That sounds right. He wasn't at Davidson, but he was at somewhere smaller.
Yeah, it was up at a tiny school.
I think if memory serves, he came the same time that Doc Rivers' kid came to Duke.
Yes. I think they were on the same team. Yeah, Austin. I don't know if it was the same.
About the same time. Yeah.
I don't know. Let's see. I think the big one off the name is you got to go Eli Manning. But Eli Manning had a really good career. It's almost, I don't really know if like he was always in Peyton's shadow, but at the same time, he had a really good career in some aspects.
He had two great moments. Like if not for those two Super Bowls, he's not in even consideration for the Hall of Fame. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
Like the only playoff wins he has were those two Super Bowl runs. Every other time they made the playoffs, he lost.
Yeah, that's true.
The ultimate living in your brother's shadow is Stanley NHL points leader Wayne Gretzky's brother.
Yeah,
Wayne Gretzky's brother had like almost no points, and he's still at the top because of how good Gretzky was.
Yeah, no, that's crazy to me. Brent Gretzky, I have it written down here. Brent Gretzky, still the highest scoring brother combo in NHL history.
Yeah.
Which I think he has like 3 or 4 points is what it is.
Yeah.
Something just insane.
Yeah.
Another one, this is kind of like going back to the players are just like insane stats, is Cal Ripken. He had a brother in the MLB, and I had no idea about that.
Did he?
Billy Ripken, 10-year career. So, like, get a good career.
Billy Ripken is a good athlete name. Good baseball name. Billy Ripken. That's a good baseball name.
Yeah. I think there's Ripken in general, maybe just because we're so used to hearing it. It's like it sounds good for baseball. Jeremy Giambi.
That was on the tip of my tongue. I couldn't remember it. Yeah.
Jeremy Giambi. It's like they both look the exact same, too. These little, like.
Yep. Shoot. There's. This is a darker one, but Greg Olson's brother.
I didn't know about that.
Oh, Greg Olson's brother was playing at UNC Charlotte and got accused of like some misconduct. I won't go into it because I don't know all the facts, and I have no other facts besides the headlines. But yeah, he apparently did a little bit of the R word, which is not right. Cool. Yeah, so that's tough. There's another brother that's right on the tip of my tongue. Fuck. This is another dark one. What was the guy? He played the brother played corner for Seattle. They both played at UCF. Shaheem and Shaquem.
Shaquem and the Griffins, the one with the half arm thing.
Yep. Yeah.
There we go.
That's tough.
But neither of them really were that good, I don't think.
I mean, they were okay. Shaquille was solid.
So to go back to baseball, I got 2 historic ones for you. I did a little bit of research on these. So Hank Aaron, he had a brother. Hank Aaron had a brother. Didn't know about that. They also played on a World Series team together and won. And then this one's crazy. Jackie Robinson had a brother who wasn't a baseball player. Maybe he was at his early age. Actually won a silver medal at the 1936 Olympics.
Track, I assume, because I know Jackie Robinson ran track too.
Yeah, track.
Wow,
So
that's pretty good. It's pretty good. The ball trio, but none of them are really all that.
LiAngelo.
Yeah.
LiAngelo now the big just rap star or whatever it's gonna be. I don't even know what
I
he's
don't know if
doing
he's
these
come out
days.
with any new songs, but that first one was pretty solid.
Yeah, and he like played in front of a live stadium, like
Yeah.
just blew up overnight.
All the Zellers, but none of them were really good, so it doesn't really matter.
Marcus Vick.
Marcus Vick, that guy held up a McDonald's with a gun in Blacksburg.
Did you really? I didn't know about that.
I had a Marcus Vick
Oh.
Dolphins football card at one point.
Jeez.
Derek Watt.
Oh, the third Watt brother.
Yeah,
like the fullback, I think, right?
Yeah, fullback Watt.
Here's the Gronkowski brothers. Everyone besides Rob.
Yeah,
everyone besides Rob.
The Gronkowski brothers are like the real life version of Entourage to me. You know what I mean?
Everyone just everyone just kind of rides Gronk's coattails. Dude, I would love to hit. You just know, like hanging out with them has to be fun.
Dude, yeah, they're just a blast.
Like they're just guys. Like I just don't think those people have bad times. Like they're just chilling.
No, they're loving every single minute of everything. And Gronk, like to his credit, got out right at the right time. He was like, dude, I got enough of these. I got a lot of touchdowns. My body's not like broken completely. Just get out of here.
Yeah, he's like, I only want to play with Tom Brady. Like he doesn't want to get frustrated playing with anyone else.
Yeah.
Like which I can relate to or understand. I guess not relate to. I can definitely understand it.
Yeah, I hear that. At one point, there was Cedric Benson and there was a Cowboys and a Bears running backs that were brothers. I can't remember what their names were now. Thomas Brown and someone else. Thomas Brown was the Bears running back. But I think
Thomas Jones.
Thomas Jones.
Okay.
Yeah. And he had a brother, I think, on the Cowboys, if I'm not mistaken. Felix Jones, perhaps?
I didn't know they were brothers.
That feels like that doesn't feel right.
I mean, I remember Felix Jones. I just didn't know they were brothers.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's all the brother talk I've got.
Yeah, and also this football, I'm excited to do a live Gridiron Grid on our show on Tuesday, I think.
Yeah.
That'll be a fun one. If anyone hasn't checked out Gridiron Grids, really fun game. I think some of them, they're a lot more fun when your team's involved, in my opinion. So you can actually get some really good polls or just stats that relate to your team. But I did have something I got to touch on here, and I'm not sure who I need to have a word with, but the person who kept Sovereignty out of the Preakness, I want them trialed for potentially ruining sports history. The fact that horse just dominated again in the Belmont Stakes.
Yeah.
You took away a chance at history for us. It's clearly a phenomenal racehorse. Like, could be one of the best ever. May even still go down as it. But, like, the fact it won the exact same way in the Kentucky Derby and, the Belmont Stakes, overtook journalism again. And so what would it have done in the Preakness? I guess we'll never know because we got fucked. And dude, it's a shame. I get it. You're looking after the horse's safety. I do get it. But, like, I need to know more about how severe this injury was. And for it to look that good a few weeks later, I don't know. Maybe that's me being a selfish sports fan.
The craziest part about it to me is, like, typically we get on, like, owners of things or, like, the people that aren't actually doing the athletic feat, both whether it's horse racing or actual, like, basketball, football, whatever. We typically get on them because they don't give a fuck and they want to capitalize on the money they make. And that's why this one is so confusing because, like, you had a chance at a ton of publicity, potentially a triple crown, and you didn't even go for it. And then you also didn't give, like, for the horse's safety, like, what does that mean? That the horse could be at serious risk of breaking a leg. Okay, got it. Makes sense.
Yeah, I can accept that.
Yeah. But, like, give us a reason.
My only thought where my head goes is like, oh, we thought we were going to lose the Preakness and we just wanted to keep it as a, oh, we don't know kind of thing. And then it comes out and does that in the Belmont Stakes. It's like, there's no way, it would have been one thing to not run the Belmont too. But now the fact that it ran that well just makes no sense to me. I just don't get it.
It's the horse racing version of Peyton Pritchard hitting that shot for your parlay. It's like, if you just didn't win that, I wouldn't give a shit. But now that you won that, now I'm mad.
Yeah, I'm more upset about it now.
Yeah.
So especially
now I'm
without an
playing the what if
explanation.
game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then, the other big event going on this weekend, happy early Father's Day. I always love that the U.S. Open kind of coincides with Father's Day. It's always nice. I'm getting a chance to spend Father's Day with my dad watching the Sunday U.S. Open. This course is eating people alive this year. I always forget how
I got
hard
it on the TV over here. I love it.
how hard the U.S. Open is.
Yeah.
I'm a big Brooks Koepka guy. I loved his, acknowledgement at that press conference a couple of days ago. He's had some really nice moments this tournament. Game looks a little bit better, but he's also fallen apart in points. Again, I think that's a lot to do with just how hard this course is. And I hate him. But Patrick Reed, that albatross was super cool. Like the fourth one in recorded history.
Yeah.
That was cool. That was cool.
So I was playing in a golf tournament yesterday with my company and some of our vendors. And this guy in the group in front of us, I've met him a couple times, but every time he'd come up, he was watching the U.S. Open on his phone, but it was always Brooks. And I was like, do you have like money on Brooks or something, or why are you only watching Brooks? There's just bad timing on my part. He goes, oh, I was Brooks's best man. What? And then he literally did the like, watch this drive. He turned around, put his phone down, and just crushed one. He's
actually a pretty good golfer.
He's a +1. Yeah, he's nasty.
That's sick. That's cool, dude. But playing with those people is the war. Like they're just, oh man,
dude. It's just so cool to watch. Like my partner, I think was a +4, and he just mashed like a 310-yard drive, just perfectly straight. It was
especially if they're cool about it too. When you're just like, hey, like I'm not very good. Like I'm just playing, and they're like the ones that like I've seen someone that's just like a complete dick about it. Like, oh, you're slowing me down. It's like, dude, sorry. Like my bad.
Yeah,
like, I'll pick up the ball. I don't really care. Like.
If I could hit a better shot, I would. Trust me.
Yeah,
like, I'm not
trying to suck, man.
Yeah. If I could hit it straight, I would. I swear.
But I also love how the U.S. Open always seems to have this, where there's like kind of people I haven't really heard of at the top of the leaderboard going into the weekend.
Is Spawn still up there? The one time I looked, the scoreboard's not up there. But yeah, JJ Spawn was leading, I think, through at least the first day and a half.
Yeah, I honestly couldn't. I don't know who that is. I'll be.
I'm not really not familiar with him either, but he was just at the top of the leaderboard. The only bet I actually have on this is Schauffele to finish top 20 is the only action I took on this.
Spawn is at 2. He's 2 under. Burns is at S. Burns. I don't even know that.
Van Burns. He's in my pool as well. Let's go. He's at
-3.
That's like that rocks. That the leaders through 2.5 days are only -3.
Well, I was talking to my dad yesterday, and he goes, at the beginning of the week, they were talking, pre-coverage. It looks like you could very easily win with even par or 2 over to be the final score at the weekend for the winner, which is crazy.
That is. I took a. So I lied. I took a little bit more action. I have anytime hole in one because it was +350. It was like, these are professionals. Like, why not? And now I realize why it's +350.
Yeah.
This course is.
Well, hey, we got an albatross, so you never know.
Yeah, I mean, that's sick, but I need a hole. I need an ace.
I do have to jump back real quick. I forgot to make this comment during the brothers. Did you know Tracy McGrady and Vince Carter are cousins?
I did, actually.
And they found out on their draft night. I didn't know that.
Yeah. No, I think one of them was on Pardon My Take, and they talked about that. What a weird story. Yeah. That
wild side. But anyways, back to golf. I mean, Hovland's at the top of the leaderboard right now too, so he's always dangerous. But I mean, like even Koepka, like I said earlier, like he's at +2, very much within striking distance. Like,
and the crazy part is like it most likely wouldn't be him just like going on a tear and birding. It'd be other people bogeying and like getting like dropping strokes.
I mean, if you can rock a 2 under day today, even a 1 under day, get like +1, and then someone else loses 2 strokes.
Just stay in.
If you're within 5 strokes in the U.S. Open, they could absolutely collapse. Like you can very easily go 5 over in 5 holes. Like it's very easy to go 5 straight bogeys. Incredibly easy on this course.
Trust me, I do it all the time. I would be great at this course. Just kidding.
You'd be probably like, double your score. It's like I shot 150 today.
On the front. Like it'd be bad. Yeah, and with me not feeling great, having golf on and just like not really any plans, it's kind of ideal.
Oh, there's really not much better.
You just yelled 4.
Well, I know before we jumped on, you were kind of like, I kind of want it to be rainy and gross today, so I have an excuse just to sit on the couch and just watch golf.
Yeah, it actually is beautiful outside, but it's humid, so I'm not even considering going out.
Yeah, no, that's the one problem. In Florida, it's like way too humid. So
Yeah.
if it rains at all here, it's gonna be a nightmare. So I'm like,
dude, it was unbelievably humid. I had that event for work at Willie B on Thursday, and I got there at 8 a.m. to help set up, and you could drink the air. It was proper Columbia day. I was dripping sweat like before the event started because it was like I was moving shit so hot. And I just dipped out for a second before people got there and went to my car and just sat there with full AC, like changed my shirt, reapplied deodorant. Like it was miserable.
Dude, you have to. I did the same thing yesterday. So I'm very bad at this. I like hot showers, like most normal people. Not like boiling like women, but like hot.
Yeah.
And I take a shower like right before I just worked out, took a shower, getting in the car to go to the airport yesterday. And I'm hot. Like I can already tell I'm hot.
Yeah.
Dallas, 90 degrees. I get in the car, his AC is not working. For a 25-minute ride. When I tell you I am a puddle when I walk into this airport, like I'm wearing a white shirt. It's just completely see-through. I'm like, I got to go to the bathroom. I just stood in the bathroom. Thank God for AC. Changed the shirt, had to do a full outfit change. I was like, I can't do this. But like,
it's worst.
Who is allowing an Uber driver to drive in Dallas, Texas in late spring, early summer, however you want to look at it, in 90-degree weather without AC? That's unheard of.
It's gross misconduct.
Yeah, like that's torture to someone like me.
That's a personal foul.
I was already hot to begin with, so it didn't help. Like I already knew I was in trouble. But like
and you're lugging your shit too.
Oh, dude. I was like, I'm going right to the bathroom when I got there. And I was like, I literally just sat in the bathroom for like 25 minutes. Like I gotta cool down.
Dude, I feel that way sometimes. Like, when you first get on the plane and the AC's not cranking yet.
Oh my God.
It's like hot and muggy in there. Dude, that is like hell on earth to me.
Oh, same thing. I got stuck in the jetway yesterday. Some person on, disabled, so they just took forever to load them on the plane. And it was like 10, 15 minutes in the little jetway thing with no AC. And I'm like, if I get on this plane and it's hot and muggy right now, like I'm going to freak out. Like I was just hot. Thank goodness the AC was working. The guy next to me had him blasted. I was like, oh, goodness. But no AC. I don't know if I could live. Like I can be okay being hot outside. I can't be okay being contained indoors being hot. I just can't do it.
See, dude, I hate being hot, and I get hot very easily. Like I couldn't even imagine like no AC. Like I couldn't deal with it. Or at least like a big ass fan cranking, like something.
Oh yeah. It's like I'll put a fan by my face if I have to and I'm sleeping. Like I'll do anything to cool off. I don't understand how people are just like, that's why I can be outside and be like cool. Cause like the shirt's coming off pretty quickly. Yeah. I'm getting in a body of water. I'm doing something. Like I'm not going to be hanging out outside just to be hot. Like I'm not doing it.
Oh, dude. Yeah. Like Kristen sometimes will like just sit outside to like bake, literally like saunaing essentially, but outside. I'm like, how? Why? Like, or like going to, I understand tanning, but like if tanning wasn't a thing, just sitting in the sun, like baking, no, thank you.
No, like I'll lie out by the pool, get some, nice sun, but I'm going in the pool the second I get hot and I'm probably not leaving after that.
Yeah. Yeah. Like my tanning is sitting in a float in the pool.
Yeah. Like I do like the buildup of getting really hot and then jumping in the pool, like at least once to get the refreshment.
Yeah.
But after that, I don't want to get hot again. No.
And like, yeah, I'm not going to get out of this pool. This is where I live now.
Exactly. Why would I want to get out? That just makes no sense. Maybe to get a new drink. That's it. Also, in the middle of summer, when we're at like an outdoor bar venue and people just want to like during the day go sit outside, I'm like, absolutely not. I'm not sitting outside in 100-degree weather. Like we're going inside with the fans blasting, the AC going. And then at nighttime, when it's like 15, 20 degrees cooler, that's when we hang out on the patio, like normal people.
Especially with all the breweries and bars now that have the big like garage windows. They're like, but it's open to the like.
Yeah, like you're getting the fresh air.
Yeah, I'm basically outside, but there's AC where I'm at. Like, why would I go outside now? It makes no sense.
Like some people just don't. It makes sense to me. People that don't get hot, like I'm like, lucky you. I step outside and I'm starting to sweat. Like I just
dude, I sweat just like existing.
Oh, it's miserable. Yeah. And then I won't cool down either. Like I need to do something to cool down.
Yeah, I literally have a fan on my desk just running like full time. But yeah, and that's cooling talk. That's AC hour.
But hey, you got anything else you're looking forward to this weekend? I know, we wanted to keep today's show a little bit shorter and kind of dive back into a lot more things come Tuesday.
Yeah, I'm playing some golf tomorrow, so I'm very okay with just being a huge pussy today and not doing anything so I can play golf tomorrow. And I've got nothing to do today, so I'm just going to hang out in the AC and watch golf. So I'm pretty pumped for that. I do have some stuff I want to get to, but I want to wait until our next show when I'm firing because it's good conversation. So I'll hold it. I'll hold it.
Perfect. Yeah. No, just to give everyone a little bit of a preview, next Tuesday, I think we're going to do a deeper dive into the NBA Finals after kind of reviewing, games 1 through 4. Same with the NHL. Definitely
And
some
we'll have
exciting.
Game 5 by then too.
Yeah, for both of them actually. NHL, I will say this: I know how much you love the NBA playoffs. I am so excited to talk about these NHL Stanley Cup Finals.
Dude,
I know they're good every year.
unbelievable.
This might be the best sports thing I've seen in a long, long time. All 4 games have been unbelievable. And then we have a couple. We have a really fun top 5 to do for you, and then a great hypothetical. I think we're gonna get into, and then of course we'll recap the U.S. Open as well. But that's exciting, and maybe I'll recap my weekend in Florida. We'll see what I do. See if I do anything fun.
Yeah. Tell Bill and Teresa what's up. Tell Bill Happy Father's Day.
Do.
Enjoy the pool, brother.
I will do. I feel better, buddy.
Thanks, bro.
See ya.
Yeah.